Today on FSI, we are breaking down the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Tennessee Titans from a betting perspective. Now, I've done all the film research and he's done all the analytics, so we can give you the best information so you can make an educated decision on the game. I'm your host, Tom Cross, and to my right is our analyst expert, Stephen Fu.
Thanks for tuning in this week. The Steelers are on the road as a 2.5 point favorite. They're minus 130 on the money line, and the Titans, they're plus 110.
Now, how I feel about the spread is that the odds makers, they got this right. Steelers, they're a big public team, so making them a slight favorite on the road here makes sense. I do believe that the Sharps are going to be on the Steelers because it did take the Titans overtime to be able to beat the Houston Texans.
So with both teams being undefeated in this matchup, this will be the marquee game of the week. The Titans had a back-and-forth battle with the Texans, and that game ended in an overtime win by Tennessee. And with the Steelers, they almost completely shut out the Browns. Cleveland only managed to score 7 points throughout the whole game.
Quarterback Ben Roethlisberger has been playing some great ball. Over the last couple of games, I've actually rated him out to be a B+. Against the Browns, he threw 2 slants that should have been intercepted, but I think he can fix that. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Now, he is coming back from injury, but he is playing well at the end of the day, so things are looking good for the Steelers in that aspect.
Ryan Tannehill is having a career season this year and seems to be on the path to another postseason appearance. He takes care of the ball very well with only 2 interceptions on the season, and he also matched a season high last week of 4 passing touchdowns against Houston.
The Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line has been playing great. They're rated as A to A-. They are playing elite ball, giving Big Ben all the time that he needs in the pocket. Now, on the other side of the ball, the biggest aspect of the Titans' defense is their pass rush. It's actually improved greatly over last year. The addition of Jadeveon Clowney has really worked wonders for them. They've also rated out to be an A. So this is going to be a very interesting matchup. But at the end of the day, I do feel like the Steelers do have an advantage on the offensive line.
This will be a matchup of the number 1 offensive line against the number 1 defensive line. The Titans give up the fewest sacks at 6, and the Steelers have the most sacks at 24. So I would say it's pretty evenly matched here.
The Pittsburgh Steelers wide receivers are greatly improved. They have Chase Claypool, Mapletron from Canada. He's balling out. He's had a huge impact on the offense. Now, early on against the Browns, they tried to get Washington involved, which was really smart because it opens up Juju and Mapletron to make big plays down the field. The Tennessee Titans secondary is no joke. They picked off Josh Allen twice. They really shut down that Bills passing game. They're rated as an A as well. But at the end of the day, I do like the Steelers' offensive weapons just a little bit better because that offensive line will give them time to make their way down the field and make big explosive plays.
The Titans will have plenty of receivers now that they're all healthy, but this week they'll be facing the best defense in the league. The Steelers rank number 1 in almost all statistical categories, so it's hard to get an advantage anywhere against them.
James Conner is back, and he can really make a big impact on the offense. I don't have an elite grade on him because on film, he doesn't really explode for 20, 30 yards, but he is solid. He runs the ball effectively, and he's good in short yardage. Now, the Tennessee Titans defensive line is very good against the run. They really couldn't shut it down. So at the end of the day, I really do have to give an advantage to the Titans here because they should be able to shut down the run.
A big part of the Tennessee offense is running the ball with Derrek Henry. This week will definitely be a new challenge against the league's best run defense. Last week, they held the best run offense to just 75 rush yards.
I like the Steelers in this matchup, and it's because of offensive line. Now, when I graded out the Tennessee Titans offensive line against the Bills, they allowed pressure 34% of the time, which is an F grade. Because of that, I couldn't take them against the Texans. Now, they covered, but they covered in overtime, and as we all know, that was just pure luck. Now, I would approach this game, and I would take the money line at minus 130. No reason to mess around with the points and have some type of backdoor cover happen. So take the Steelers money line in this matchup.
The Steelers defense is a really strong group. I think it's going to be too much for the Titans to handle because they have a lot of weaknesses on both sides of the ball. They have one of the worst run defenses in the league, so I have to side with Pittsburgh here. I'll take them minus 2.5 on the road.
Now remember, we can't predict the injury and the weather, so make sure you follow our Twitter for our official moves. We're 11-2 on that, and we are killing the sports book. So do me a favor and smash that like button and subscribe. Tell us you're going to be taking in the comments below.
We don't care about favorite teams here. Our focus is on making you money. Follow our social media on Twitter, Instagram, or our webpage. The links are below.